Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca, and if it's your first time here, then welcome. You're joining us at a great time. This is part 3 of my Sephora sales shopping guide. So today we're covering hair care, body care, and fragrance, which includes home fragrance as well as personal fragrance. I've already posted part 1, which is makeup, and part 2, which is skincare, and I will link that in the cards as well as the description box below, along with everything we are going to discuss today. Before we get into it, I just want to acknowledge that the Sephora sale gets a lot of hype on social media, and of course it's nice to get that percentage off, but I think it's important to de-escalate and not get too caught up in the frenzy that is sale season and holiday season. Beauty is never worth going into debt for, and it's just never worth putting yourself in a situation of financial precarity. For me, the shopping guides are a way of assessing my own collection, my favorites throughout the year, as well as all-time favorites, and hopefully guiding intentional and thoughtful shopping. I mean, I realize that people are gonna shop. It's the holiday season and it's the sale, and on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, don't spend unnecessarily, and on the other hand, I'm like, when you do spend thoughtfully and spend on products that are actually worth your hard-earned money. So let's get into it, starting with hair care. The first wash products I want to mention are longtime favorites. It's the Pureology Hydrate shampoo and conditioner. They're both excellent, they're both beautiful, and I do like to get them on sale because they're on the higher end. So the shampoo is a really luscious lather and I feel like it's kind of hard to find a sulfate-free shampoo that has a really nice, yummy, creamy lather. And the shampoo also contains a bit of menthol, and it's the sort of thing that's kind of cooling on the scalp. It feels really relaxing. It creates these like spa vibes. It has a bit of lavender and I think maybe bergamot, a few other like just calming, overall relaxing vibes. And it's a very unisex kind of scent. This is something that I think anyone would love. The conditioner is a really, really rich, yummy conditioner. It's the kind of conditioner that doesn't make me miss having a hair mask. For me, I like to always have a hair mask around, and this is the kind of conditioner that when I use it, I don't feel like I'm missing that extra bit of richness. So together, these are a beautiful duo. The next few products are from Briogeo, and Briogeo is just a hair brand that I really like, and I don't think you can go wrong because they have different hair lines for different hair types. Their products are really well formulated and they're just very attractive. So this is one of those duos that's very attractive. This is their Superfoods line, and it's their Matcha and Apple shampoo and their Kale and Apple conditioner. These smell incredible. They're super fresh, refreshing, like a crisp apple scent. I love using these. They like kind of wake up the senses. The shampoo gives you a really nice cleanse. It's neither super hydrating nor stripping. It's just right down the middle. It's great for an everyday cleanse. The conditioner is on the lighter side of conditioners. Sometimes I do mix this with a hair mask if I want something richer, but most days I'm totally fine with this level of moisture and hydration, and neither of them strip the hair. Together they're just hydrating and they're just yummy to use. I forgot to mention, I have very thick, coarse, straight hair. My hair is color treated and I have an oily scalp. I wash my hair between every 2 to 3 days. So those are my hair needs. I do try to be considerate of other hair types in this review, so hopefully I can speak to those things. If you are in need of something a little bit richer, Briogeo has their Don't Despair Repair Deep Conditioning Mask. So this is their hair mask. It has the most beautiful, like light, creamy floral, I think. I don't really know how to describe it. This is on surprisingly the lighter side of hair masks. It's creamy, but it's not super emollient. It's not oil rich, and it's not heavy. So it's not the kind of hair mask that's going to leave your hair with a film. You know what I mean? It's the kind of mask that rinses away clean, and even though it's lightweight, it's very, very hydrating and yummy. It's detangling. It's a really nice kind of middle of the road hair mask, and it's something that I could just use over and over. It does have oils in it that do help hydrate the hair if you have dry hair. But I think it's the kind of hair type that would, or hair mask that would work for all hair types from straight to curly, just because it really hits all of the marks without being too intense. For scalp care, I really, really love the Briogeo Micro Exfoliating Charcoal something shampoo. It is a scalp treatment shampoo in their charcoal line, and essentially it's a gray colored paste that has a bit of scrubbiness, and it's the kind of thing you want to take a scoop of and really take time to work into the scalp. It really helps soothe the scalp. It has a bit of menthol in it, and it helps clarify the scalp without stripping it. So I go for this when my scalp is feeling dry or I have a lot of product buildup, and the more you work it in, it starts to bubble up like a shampoo. It's not nearly as foamy as a traditional shampoo, but it will give you a really nice cleanse. And then if you add in a little bit of water at a time and work it into the scalp, it's just a really nice cleansing experience. On the other end of hardcore scalp treatments, I have the Christophe Robin clarifying, purifying scrub with sea salt. This is just like a mini version. They've since repackaged this. Obviously they come in bigger tubs. This is a serious clarifying scrub. So it's almost like rock salt, like there's actual rock crystals inside of a treatment binding. So as the rock salt sort of dissolves into the scalp, it will foam up, it will really, really lift up any product buildup you have. And that's when I use this, is when I can tell I've been using too much dry shampoo and I can feel grittiness or chalkiness in my hair. I turn to this because it cleanses so effectively, but you do need to spend a bit of time working it into the scalp. This also contains some menthol, so it has that cooling kind of sensation. The Briogeo is a creamy base. This is more of a clear base with the salt. So they're very different. For me, this can be a bit harsh to use all the time. It's really a true treatment product that I turn to every 2 to 3 weeks when I need a hardcore clarifying cleanse. I also would advise maybe not using this right after you've color treated your hair, just because you want to be gentle with your hair after it's chemically treated, and this can be a little bit on the harsher side. But sometimes you just need that thing that's really gonna get out the grit, and that's the scrub from Christophe Robin. Then for something soothing for the scalp and quite unique, this is the Playa Healing Hair Mask with Kaolin clay and Amla oil. So this is actually a hair mask that is designed for the scalp, and it's designed to soothe the scalp, and it has the most incredible smell. It smells like warm amber, but kind of beachy, but like a grown-up beachy, not like a sweet coconutty beachy. I actually like this. It's the only hair mask that I apply root to tip because it also moisturizes, it hydrates, it softens the hair, it makes my hair feel really shiny, and it detangles. It does everything, but it actually doesn't weigh my hair down, even when I use it that way. So for me, this is kind of an all-rounder hair mask from scalp to the tip. The tip, I just said the tip. From scalp to ends. The last few wash products are from Amica. I have their Soul Food hair mask, which is their nourishing mask. This is obviously a travel size, and then their Cure hair mask, which I don't have right now. So for me, they're a bit different and they do different things. Soul Food is the best at moisturizing and detangling, and it's creamy, it's hydrating, it's just sort of an everyday kind of hair mask. I always keep the giant tubs around in my shower because Sean and I both love it, and it's great for dry hair. The Cure mask is much more buttery, like it's thick, and when you scoop it out, it like holds its shape, whereas the nourishing mask is closer to a mask slash conditioner. The Cure mask is much more reparative for dry hair. It's moisturizing, it's creamy, It feels like your hair is sort of soaking up the mask, but it's not as detangling. So they do different things. I would be happy to have both of them, but because of the more detangling qualities, I find that I use Soul Food more as an everyday kind of mask and the Cure more as a specifically moisturizing reparative mask. And then I love the Amica Bust Your Brass shampoo and conditioner. Specifically, I really love the shampoo because I think it's a very gentle shampoo. It lathers well and it still gives you that purple toning property to knock out any brassiness or yellow or orange tones in blonde hair or balayage hair, highlighted hair. But it's not an intense purple shampoo the way that like Fanola is. Fanola really tones your hair because it's more of a treatment. Amica, it's truly a purple shampoo and it's gentle enough that I can use it consecutive days in a row without feeling like it dries out my hair, but it's also still effective in keeping brassiness at bay. Moving into leave-in products and treatments, I have the Pureology Color Fanatic spray. So this is a real multitasker. It's detangling, it's color protecting, it's heat protecting, it makes my hair feel really smooth and shiny, but it's not too heavy. Like it's not oily and greasy, and it's also not too lightweight. It actually gives me a really, really good detangle. And that's primarily how I use it. I always use this out of the shower, and sometimes I do use this to protect my hair from heat. I don't always use it for that. I have other heat protectants that I sort of like better, but I specifically really love this for when the hair is wet. So when I want something a little bit more indulgent, I turn to the Gisu leave-in or honey-infused leave-in conditioner. It's so cute. Obviously it's Gisu, it has the beautiful branding, and it smells like honey. I just sprayed it on my hand. It smells like honey, it's lightly floral, it's very fresh. This is it's not super lightweight. It's a little bit less oily maybe than the Pureology leave-in, and I find it's a little bit more moisturizing specifically. It also does detangle, it protects hair from heat, all of that, but I just really like this to sort of soften the hair as it's drying. And then I have the Caristas Discipline Fluidisime Anti-Frizz spray. It's a leave-in conditioner. I think fine hair types that struggle with frizziness would really, really love this. Or if you live in a humid climate and you struggle to tame frizziness, you would love this. It's not a great detangling leave-in conditioner. For me, it doesn't do quite enough, but it's very fine. It's a very fine mist as well as a fine formula. So I think if you have, if you have fine hair, straight hair, and you struggle to find a leave-in conditioner that doesn't weigh down your hair, you would really, really like this. When I need some serious detangling, or it's like the dead of winter and my hair feels really brittle and I need something richer, that's when I turn to the Amica, the Wizard Detangling Primer. Now this is probably the most oil heavy formula of the leave-in conditioners I've mentioned. It contains sea buckthorn oil, avocado oil, I think there are a couple other things, and it's very oil rich. But because of that oiliness, I find that it makes my hair detangle so well. It's like there's no resistance in any of the knots or tangles in my hair. It is a pretty aggressive spray, so you really only need, I only need like 3 sprays across my hair, and I actually find that I can skip a hair oil when I'm using this because it's such a rich formula, and it's something that I really make sure I apply at the ends of my hair and not the roots because it is heavier. But sometimes you just need that, and I also think if you have curly hair, you would really like this because of the detangling properties and because of how rich and emollient it is. For heat protection specifically, I love the Gisu Propolis Infused Heat Protecting Spray. This is a really nice fine mist. It smells like honey and neroli as it suggests, but it's really great for protecting the hair. I find that I always end up with really shiny hair. My hair feels less damaged. It doesn't feel like my hair is dried out if I use heat tools after I use this. So it's nice to kind of have a dedicated heat protectant product, I find. There's really only one hair oil that I've been using all year because this bottle lasts forever. This is the Gisu honey infused hair oil. This is like their original product. It's a beautiful, nourishing hair oil, and I really only need 2, sometimes 3 drops. And I rub it between my palms, and then I just kind of comb it through my fingers, through the ends of my hair, and it restores shine, it restores luster, it makes my hair actually feel a little bit softer. I usually apply this onto wet hair as it's drying, but I also have applied this onto dry hair when it's feeling a little, you know, crusty, and it restores shine without adding heaviness in the hair. It actually distributes really well throughout the hair. I think it's because there are silicones in this formula. That's what gives it that slippery, oily feeling. Some oils, if you apply them on dry hair, you can see like a dot in the hair where the oil sticks. This doesn't do that. It distributes really evenly, and so I think that's why you don't need as much. And this is a more high-end product, but it's something that you will use for a long time. I've used this for over a year, and this is all I've used. I use it all the time. So it's a very big bottle. It's weighty, it's glass, it's cute on your vanity. So let's talk dry shampoo. I have an oily scalp, so I consider myself something of a dry shampoo expert. When it comes to dry shampoo, you have 2 needs. You want your hair to look clean, and you want your hair to feel clean. Now, not all dry shampoos do both of those things, but sometimes it might do one of them really well. If you followed me for any amount of time, you know that I love the Living Proof dry shampoo, the original one. It accomplishes both. It makes your hair look clean and actually feel clean. And because it actually feels clean, I'm able to use it consecutive days in a row without feeling like there's so much product buildup and chalkiness and grittiness. I didn't think they could make it better, and then they did. So this year, just a few months ago, they released the Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. Now this is like a step more intense, a step more hardcore, but it doesn't leave any more product or grittiness or anything in your hair. It soaks up oil so well. These do come out as a white powder, but I've never had trouble with any white cast in my hair. I find that as long as I distribute them in my scalp, and oftentimes I brush through, then it's just gone. And I don't feel it in my scalp. Like if I run my fingers through my hair, I don't feel the product, but it looks and feels clean. So I didn't think they could make it better, but they did. I know some people don't love, it has a powdery smell. Some people don't love it. I really don't mind. Just want to note that in case you're fragrance sensitive. Now this next dry shampoo will make your hair look very clean, but it will not make your hair feel clean. In fact, you're going to need to wash your hair the next day for sure. This is the IGK First Class Charcoal Detox Dry Shampoo. This is my SOS product when my scalp is really oily and other things aren't cutting it and I just need it to look clean. This somehow makes it look like you've just washed your hair if you have an oily scalp, but you will feel it. It's gritty, it's chalky, it's almost a little bit sticky. Even though it doesn't look like it, it's the weirdest thing. You're definitely gonna wanna wash this out the next day. But yeah, sometimes you just need to have an SOS product around, and that's the Detox Dry Shampoo. Let's move into hair tools. I have quite a few tools here, but they all do something different and I think will address different needs. So first up, I have the Amica blow dry brush. This is a blow dry brush with an oval shaped brush, and it has 3 different heat settings, and it has bristles that are both natural bristles as well as plastic bristles. So this is something I highly recommend you using on like 60% dry hair, whether that's air dried or blow dried with a blow dryer, just because this is more of a styling product on slightly damp hair to finish off a blow dry look. And when you use it that way, it will create the most bouncy, voluminous, shiny, yeah, like beautiful blow-dried effect, like the kind of blow dry that you get in a salon that you could never replicate on your own. This makes it so easy to do that. I find that the oval shape gives you a bit of resistance as you're working through the hair, especially if you rotate it while you're working through the hair. It does get quite hot. I don't always use it at the highest setting, but it is adjustable and it's just really easy to use. If you want a blow dry look, but you suck at blow drying your hair with a round brush, which is hard to do, this is the product for you. It also comes in a holiday kit with the Wizard, which I mentioned, as well as their Perk Up Dry Shampoo. So it's a really great deal. And the other two products are full-size products. So I'll link that below. Then I have the Amica Thermal Heat Brush. I forget the full name of this. It doesn't say on here. So this is pretty interesting. It's like a hairbrush, but it has a heated plate on the bottom of the brush at the base. So essentially, this is a way of straightening your hair by reducing the amount of heat you use on it. So I find it works best when I actually like take a piece of hair, hold it at the bottom, and I'm able to get some resistance, and I work this through the hair, down the hair shaft. And this won't give you quite as intense of a straight look, obviously, as a classic straightener. But if you're looking to reduce heat on your hair, this is a really nice option. I also really like this for if I have a straight hairstyle, but I've put my hair up or I've slept in it weird and I have kinks in my hair. It's really nice just to work through specific kinks in the hair, like one small section at a time. And I also find that because this is more of a brush, it maintains volume a little bit better than a traditional flat iron because you're not pressing it completely straight. You're maintaining some movement and some body. For a traditional flat iron, I really love the T3 Lucia. I forget what this is called, but this is their straightener that has their smart technology. There's also one without the smart technology that's more affordable. So what the smart technology does is essentially remembers your hair type and your heat preferences, and you're able to adjust it depending on the condition your hair is in and what you're looking for. I mean, that's not something that everybody needs, but it is nice especially if you straighten your hair often and you're looking to reduce the heat damage in general. The T3 products all heat super evenly, and yeah, I just find that they're really, really good at reducing heat damage overall. So I honestly don't straighten my hair too much these days, but when I had straight hair and I had a bob, this was amazing for straightening the bob, especially where it hits the shoulder and it flips out. I hated that. I used this so much when I had that hairstyle. Moving into curling products, I have to say I also recommend the T3 curling wands and curling irons. They're all amazing, but if you're someone that curls your hair often or wears different curl styles, the T3 Twirl Trio is amazing. So I talked about this in a favorites video a few months ago, but this is their clamp curling iron. I like a clamp. This also comes in a wand version, but essentially it's convertible. So this comes with 3 different iron heads, and you can swap them out depending on how loose or how tight you want your curl. So this is the middle one, this is the biggest one, and then there's one smaller than this. And T3 also makes different barrels. If you want to buy any of those separately, you can do that too. And even though it's convertible, it's the most secure convertible hair tool I've used. So yeah, just the quality is amazing. If you are someone that likes to curl your hair, that wears a lot of different curl styles, or you want different barrels for different hairstyles or hair lengths, all of that, the T3 Twirl, I just can't speak highly enough of. The last heat tool is the Amica The Waver. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember the exact name, but this is beautiful for creating like mermaid hair waves. So it's how do I describe this? It's like a wave clamp, and you run it through your hair. And this is nice because you can just put a slight wave in your hair, or if you hold it longer on higher heat, you can really get super defined waves. I've worn it both ways and it's just a fun hairstyle. It's kind of a variation on curled hair. And it also, I think, is really nice for fine hair types because the wave pattern creates a lot of volume in the hair. And so it makes you look like you have a lot more hair than you do. And as someone with thick hair, it makes me look like I have a ton of hair when I go really defined on the waves. I don't always do that, but it's a nice option to have if you're looking to mix it up and try a new hairstyle. The last hair item I want to mention is the Aquas hair towel. So this is a towel that is designed to wrap around your head. You put this button at the base of your head and you wrap your hair around. It has a little loop and you're able to kind of throw the loop back and button it to the button at the base of your head. I'll insert a picture of it because that was a weird description, but it's one of those hair wrap towels. I was very skeptical of Aquas before I tried their hair towels. They make a lot of big claims about cutting down the air dry time of your hair and minimizing damage, all of that stuff. This is their copper version, which has copper woven into the fabric, which is supposed to speed up the air dry time. I can't tell you whether that's true or not from my own experience, but I do find that these cut down on dry time a lot. And it's really nice because they're very secure on the head. They just stay on the head while you're doing stuff around the house. For me, I like to air dry my hair as much as I can, so I like to keep these on for a while. And they come in a couple different versions. There's like a waffle knit, there's their traditional terry, and even though I have really long, thick hair, it always fits in these, even when I've had longer hair. They wash really, really well. I just throw them in with my towels, they dry well, and somehow the elastic band has stayed really tight. I have a couple of these that I've had for a few years now, and I use all of them and they've all maintained their quality over time. Personally, I think this is an item that makes a really good gift. I've gifted it to friends, I've gifted it to my mom because it's something that you may not spend the money on for yourself, but once you have it, it's really nice to have. Moving into body care, this is a category that exploded for me in the last year. I think there have been a lot of releases. Brands have realized that people have been spending a lot more time at home and are looking for some self-care entertainment perhaps. And so I have a lot of new and beautiful products, starting with Necessaire. I want to preface this by saying I love everything I've tried from Necessaire. They just don't miss. They have a very tightly curated line and everything I've tried I love. I have a brand review of Necessaire coming soon. But first, let's talk about their body wash. So this is a beautiful hydrating gel body wash. It foams really nicely. Some gel body washes can really strip the skin. This doesn't do that. It feels really softening to the skin. This is the scent Eucalyptus, which is now it's my favorite scent. I've tried all of them. Eucalyptus is a very fresh, what's the word? Sharp. It's like a sharp, fresh scent. And it has that like spa-like eucalyptus quality. Sandalwood is a bit more earthy. It has a slightly more unisex quality to it. And bergamot's the same way. It has that unisex kind of almost masculine quality. They're both very sexy. They're on the slightly heavier side. So if you want something a little bit richer and heavier and sexier, go for bergamot or what did I just say? Sandalwood. If you want something fresh, go for eucalyptus. And if you have sensitive skin, there's also a fragrance-free version of this, which is amazing. I love that they do that. The other Necessaire product is their body exfoliator. So this comes in all of the scents that I mentioned, as well as fragrance-free. I think there's a fragrance-free. This is a really nice exfoliator because it has a very, very fine scrub to it. The scrubby bits are tiny, so it's not really harsh. and it's not really intense, and it really comes out as a gel. So some exfoliants are more like a salt that has some binding. This is a gel that happens to have scrubby bits in it, and it's one of the more gentle body exfoliants that I've tried. The other body wash product I don't have with me, but it is the Kiehl's Almond Shower Oil. So I love that this comes in refillable, like giant refillable bags, as well as multiple different sizes. It's the first shower oil I fell in love with. It's obviously rich, it's slidey, it makes you feel cleansed, but it also softens your skin and moisturizes your skin while you're showering. So much so that it almost feels like you don't need a body lotion after you've used it, because the oil nourishes your skin while you're in the shower. It's a beautiful product. Then let's get into body treatments, lotions, and creams. So I have this duo from Necessaire. You can do one or the other. Together, they're heavenly. First, I'll talk about the body serum. So first of all, this is huge. I think the price per ounce on this is really good. It's 5.1 ounces. And this is the body treatment for people who don't like lotion. So it comes out as a serum. It's almost like a gel-like serum, like that. And it has that kind of like water burst feel where it blends in really quickly. It sinks in beautifully, it hydrates, and then it doesn't leave any stickiness or tackiness on the body. It disappears like right away, but it is still very hydrating, and it's really spreadable. I know a lot of people actually use this on the face, and I would totally recommend, if you want to do that, you totally could, because it's fragrance free. It has all of the hydrating ingredients that you like. It's lightweight, and if you use it that way, this will last forever. The body oil is also stunning, also a great value. So this is 3.4 ounces, so you can really use it generously. You can slather it on. This is something that I've used on its own, but I almost like it even better when it's when I use it to enrich a more spreadable formula. So that's why I like it with the body serum, because the body serum gives it that spreadability that helps it go a really long way. When you use it on its own, you can definitely do that, and it's spreadable that way too, especially on damp skin. But I find that I need to use a little bit more of it to get it to go as far. So I like to mix it with the serum for a bit of stretch. You could also mix it into any body lotion that you want. For a lightweight body lotion, I have the Dr. Jart Ceramidin Lightweight Body Moisturizer. Oh, it's funny that it's called that. So this is part of the Ceramidin line, which is focused on ceramides, which are essentially like the building blocks in your skin. So if you're feeling irritated, if you feel like you're having skin barrier issues, if you are feeling itchy, something like that, the Ceramidin line is really nice. This is a beautiful lightweight lotion, as the name says. It sinks in really quickly. That's the texture. And it blends into the skin really nicely. It spreads a long way, and it sinks in really quickly. For me, this is something that I really, really liked in the summer, especially after showering, when I didn't want something heavier. I didn't need something heavier. And I think this would be great for people who don't like to apply body lotion. Now that it's winter, I personally like a rich body cream, but not everyone likes that. So I think this is a really nice option to have. It's a great size. It's 6.76 fluid ounces. Another item I don't have is the Kiehl's Creme de Corps. That is a little bit richer than the Ceramidin, and it's fragrance free. It's really creamy. It's really comforting. It's really soothing. It also comes in a variety of sizes, and the big sizes are a great value for money. So if you want something that's kind of a workhorse body lotion, I love the Creme de Corps. For something more rich and luscious, I have the Josie Maran Whipped Argan Pro Retinol body butter, and it says smooth and firm. So I love this with one exception, which is that I don't think it should be called pro retinol. It doesn't actually contain retinol, and I really hate the move to call retinol alternatives retinol. They just don't have the science or the proven results. So that's the one bone that I have to pick with this product, but otherwise it's perfection. So it comes in this tub, and it's a beautiful like light pink cream. It's luscious, it's delicious, it's silky, it's creamy, but it's not too heavy. It's not too rich. It actually does sink into the skin. There's also no added fragrance to this, just a lot of nice like plant butters and yummy, nourishing products. It's not something I use every day because it is a more of like a treat kind of product from when I have the time to take a bath and really, you know, drench myself in moisturizer once a week or so. That's when I use this. So if you're struggling with ingrown hairs, with dry skin, with keratosis pilaris, or body breakouts, I think the Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta pads for the body are amazing. They're individually packed pre-soaked towelettes that are full of the Alpha Beta exfoliant formula, which is a mix of glycolic, I think some salicylic and lactic, but essentially it resurfaces your body skin the same way you would with a chemical leave-on exfoliant for the face. And oftentimes I feel like we forget that the body sometimes needs that extra bit of care, and it needs help sloughing away the top layer of dead skin. It needs help with breakouts, getting into the pores a little bit more. So it's nice to have that around for, you know, a little bit of extra body skin love if you're feeling like you need it. I only have one body SPF that I really love at Sephora just because for the price point, I'm usually not using Sephora SPFs on my body. But I do really love the Supergoop Glow Oil. This is SPF 50 and it's water resistant. And I think they've repackaged this since, but the formula is the same. This comes in a mister bottle, and I was skeptical of this at first. I was like, how could this really give me protection? I was really confused. It's in a base of meadow foam, argan, and grapeseed oil. But it actually comes out as a dry oil, kind of like a body oil, but dry to touch and sinks in really quickly. And this is really nice for pool days or beach days when you want a bit of moisture on your skin or you want your legs to look a little shiny and sexy. This is really beautiful for that, and I love that it's water resistant. Even though it's an oil, I've never had issues with this staining a bathing suit or staining clothing. I think it's a really nice delivery format for SPF, and it makes reapplication really easy because of the spray format. For hand cream, I have been really loving the Necessaire hand cream. This is a metal tube, the kind that you like puncture the top, and it's fragrance free. It's super lightweight. It's the kind of hand cream that sinks in really easily. So for me, this is something that I keep near my desk because I can use it really easily while I'm in the middle of working if I need a bit of moisture, but it sinks in so quickly that I can go right back to typing or writing something without feeling like I'm getting greasiness all over the keyboard. And I feel like it's nice to have a lightweight hand cream for that purpose. I also can keep this in my purse if I'm out and about for a long day. And yeah, it's just really nice. It's a standard lotion, but it also does contain peptides, which can be nice for anti-aging. And you know that hands are the first thing that show signs of age, so it's nice to keep them moisturized. I really have been wanting to try the new Fenty hand cream. It's actually called a hand mask, and I've heard really good things about it, so I may pick that up during the sale. For self-tanner, I have two products, and they're both from Tanlux, but they do different things with different delivery formats. So these are the body drops. They're called the Illuminating Self-Tan Drops. They come in two tones, light medium and medium deep. This is light medium. So this is nice for the person who wants a bit of glow, but is scared of self-tanner and wants a really, really adjustable coverage. You basically take the dropper, and the more drops that you mix into your body lotion, the more tan you'll get. And if you only mix in a few drops, you'll get a very, very subtle tan. Like, you may not even notice it. For me, I like that. For someone who's a real self-tanner, like a hardcore self-tanner, you may want something more intense. But I really like the adjustable aspect of this. I think it's just nice. It's really beginner friendly, and because it's a subtle formula, I never find that I get any streaks or any kind of weird marks on my body. For something a little more hardcore, I go for the Tan Luxe, the Gradual Illuminating Tan Lotion. So even though it's called the Gradual, I actually find this to be a pretty good tan. It's a nice golden tan, and if I use this a couple days in a row, then I look really tan. Because this is a more concentrated, like hardcore formula, I do have to be a little bit more careful. And my tip is to use a large brush, like a large powder brush, or they sell body brushes to buff it in around your hands, around your ankles, your elbows, your knees, any place that self-tanner can get weird or streaky. That's the thing I've realized really makes a big difference. This does not have a color guide, so it goes on as a clear lotion, which is why buffing it in really helps, but it's not super streaky. You know, if I've ever messed up, it's totally because I've been in a rush. I actually find it to be among the easier self-tanners. It's also a really hydrating lotion, so it's nice to have that all in this formula. Tragedy has struck the house of Park, and I dropped one of my favorite Nest candles, Birchwood Pine, and it shattered everywhere, so I had to do a cleanup in aisle 6. So anyways, I had a brief intermission on my end, and now I'm back to talk about fragrance, which includes personal fragrance and home fragrance, which is why I was bringing my candles over and this tragedy happened, but it's okay. I think I can spare the candle. Let's actually talk fragrance first, and then we'll close out with candles. So the first fragrance is what I would consider one of my signature scents. It's the Atelier Cologne Clementine California. Now, Atelier Cologne do citrus fragrances so beautifully, but this is my favorite because it's clementine and it has that sharp freshness of citrus, but it's really balanced by a woodsy note. And the woodsy note makes this quite complex and sort of mature and sophisticated and adult. It's not heavy. It still has that lightness, the freshness of a citrus fragrance, but I feel like the woods note just makes it a bit more wearable and more skin-like almost. And it's the kind of fragrance that I could wear every single day and I would be happy with. It's work appropriate, and I always have a bottle with me on hand. Atelier Cologne also do a citrus called Love Osmanthus, and that one is really fun. It's more of a bright, happy, like spring, summer kind of fragrance. And if you like something a little bit sweeter, but you still want that complex citrus quality that Atelier Cologne does really well, I would totally recommend that too. For something a little sweeter, I have Ellis Brooklyn Bee, and it's called Bee after honeybees because the main note in this is honey. That's primarily what I smell. I know that there are other notes that make this more complex, but it has that sweet, kind of syrupy quality of honey. And I feel like this starts out kind of sweet, but actually as it wears throughout the day, it becomes a little bit more musky, more skin-like. And by the end of the day, it doesn't really smell like honey. It just kind of smells like a soft, creamy musk. So I really like the way this wears. I think if you like something on the sweeter side, you would really like this. Then I have quite a few products in the perfume oil category. So the first ones are by Maison Louis Marie, which is one of my favorite perfume houses, like a niche perfume house. Their number 4 Bois de Balancourt is my favorite. This is my other signature scent. I would say Clementine California or Bois de Balancourt. So this is a very woodsy scent. It's almost unisex. It has a bit of creaminess to it, and a lot of people call this a dupe for Santal 33. I really agree. I think it's beautiful. It also makes a beautiful candle and home fragrance, and every holiday season they have a set in which you can get this, the perfume, and the candle, and that one always sells out really quickly, so I'll link that below. I just really like the perfume oil delivery system because I find that it warms up throughout the day on your pulse points as you're wearing it. It has more of a skin-like quality to it because it's an oil on the skin rather than a perfume, which might be more airy, right? Like it is carried through the air. Even though it's on the skin, it picks up in the air. The perfume oil is a little bit closer to the body and it's a little bit warmer for that. So I just really love this and it lasts forever. I've had this for so long, I use it all the time and I have this much left. The other fragrance that I have by them is a true fall winter fragrance. This is number 3, Le Temps Noir. So people call this a dupe for Tobacco Vanilla by Tom Ford. And I have to agree, it's not quite as intense as Tobacco Vanilla, and I find Tobacco Vanilla just to be have a little bit more body. But if you want a slightly less intense, more skin-like version of Tobacco Vanilla, I think you would really like this. It has that tobacco, slight smokiness, it has that spicy, like spice forward scent of like cinnamon and cloves. That's why it's perfect for the holiday season. It really embodies those warm, cozy fragrances. So Nest released perfume oils earlier this year, and I really, really love them. The packaging is so cute. They come in these boxes, and I've kept the packaging because I love them. And then the oils are huge. They come in these beautiful glass bottles. This first one is Seville Orange, which is such a beautiful, I mentioned I love citruses. I wore this all summer. It's a beautiful, juicy, citrusy orange smell. It's the kind of citrus smell that makes my mouth water and it makes me crave like a fresh glass of orange juice. This has a bit of like white floral in it that makes it not just a straightforward orange, but it is, yeah, just a really classic take on a citrus. The other one that I love that I'm wearing more now that it's cooler is Madagascar Vanilla. So this one has that beautiful creaminess of vanilla. It's not a heavy vanilla as in like a gourmand. Like it's not gonna make you think of vanilla cake or vanilla ice cream. It has more of a lightweight quality to it. There's almost like a floral note to it that makes it a little bit more complex than just your straightforward vanilla. And it makes it a lot less heavy than your classic vanilla. Oh yeah, see, I'm reading it now. There's vanilla bean, vanilla orchid, and a hint of coconut. That's the creaminess that I was smelling. But it does have that bit of floral lightness. The last perfume is actually the actual Tom Ford Tobacco Vanilla. So a lot of perfumes try to dupe this and they can't, because this perfume has a lot of complexity and a lot of body, especially in the tobacco note. It's not like your cigar tobacco. It's kind of like a muskiness, a sexiness, and it has that slight touch of smokiness, but it's definitely spice forward when you first spray it, and then as it wears throughout the day, the vanilla comes forward a little bit more and it becomes smoother and creamier, and it really wears into the skin beautifully. So obviously the Tom Ford fragrances are a huge investment. The sale's a nice time to get them, and I sort of see why Tom Ford Tobacco Vanilla is hard to dupe. So let's round out everything with home fragrances. Actually, it's all candles. All candles. I love candles, and I actually think the Sephora sale is a nice time to get candles because candles make great gifts. There's something that make great hostess gifts. They're great holiday gifts. I feel like candles are something that everyone likes to have, but not everyone wants to spend the money on. And you know me, I'm a Nest girl, hence the tragedy that struck. I love all of the Nest candles. I specifically love the holiday collection. The holiday candle is my all-time favorite holiday scent. It's pine forward, but there's also cranberry and there's a bit of spice and there's like a creaminess to it, but it's really strong and it just smells like Christmas Day. Birchwood Pine, which was my sad tragedy that I shattered, that one is more of a straightforward, like sharp, fresh pine tree scent. And then their newest one, Blue Cypress and Snow, is like a vanilla creamy woods. It's more round, it's more comforting, more cozy. And the last one is Hearth, which is more of your oud forward, like smoky, almost unisex, masculine, but like fireplace kind of fragrance. So they come in these beautiful vessels. This one is Hearth. I'm gonna really try not to break these right now. This one is Blue Cypress and Snow, and this one is Holiday. And then Birchwood Pine, I'm not gonna hold it up because it's shattered. It comes in a really similar vessel to this. This is their single wick. I think it's 8 ounces. It has a really long burn time. They also have a 3 wick, which is amazing if you're in a big house and you have a lot of open space to fill. Those burn forever. Like that will last you the whole holiday season. I just brought over one of the 3 wicks, so you can see this is actually the 3 wick in Birchwood Pine. So this is 21.1 ounces, this is 8 ounces. So the price difference between these is about $20, I think, but obviously the 3 wick is considerably larger. Just wanted to show you that comparison. I also love their fall candles. Pumpkin Chai is a classic. It has that creamy pumpkin note, but it has the chai note that makes it a little bit more complex, a little bit more elevated, and there are some like creamy, but definitely notable like spices in there. So beautiful fall scent. They also came out with Autumn Plum this year. I'll hold up the box. It's beautiful. So this is such an interesting fragrance because it has that deep plum note, but it also has notes of cinnamon, the warmth of patchouli leaf and cashmere wood, and then the scent of freshly fallen autumn leaves. So there's that woodsy quality to it while still being warm because of that kind of cashmere note. It's just a really interesting fragrance. So if you want to try a fall candle, but you don't want to go for the straight up sweet, gourmand, pumpkin kind of note, you should try Autumn Plum. From their permanent collection, I love amber for something, or Moroccan amber, for something a bit warm and cozy and sexy, and for something a bit fresher and juicier for spring and summer, I love Sicilian tangerine and grapefruit. Those are just delicious. On the high end of candles, Sephora carries the Over Rose candles. This is the packaging they come in. I keep this because it's so beautiful. So these are the iconic, let me pull this out, the iconic pink and holographic vessels that you see all over Instagram. And this is the only one I have. So you open it up, let me not break another candle. And it looks like this. So I have Valkyria, mine is partially burned, but I still keep it in here because I want to maintain its integrity. This is such a me fragrance. It's fig leaves, vineyard peaches, cocoa milk, and cedar wood. And it's so interesting. It has that creaminess and slight sweetness, but it's actually quite warm and cozy. So I think they do really interesting fragrances, and when you're paying for a candle at this price point, you want it to be an experience, and they do really deliver on the experience. The last candles I'll recommend are the Otherland candles. So I'm really excited that Otherland is at Sephora now. They are a lower price point than Nest. I think these are $38 or $36. The Nest single wicks are $42, and the Over Rose candles I think are in the high 50s or low 60s. So every candle comes packaged like this. It's such an experience, and this is why these make great gifts. So it comes in a box that has a magnetic tab here. So you open up the tab, there's a little note from the founder, and then there's this beautiful artwork, and each collection has unique artwork. So you pull off the lid like that, and then you have the candle. This is the rattan candle, and you also get a box of matches that say Otherland on them. They're super cute, and you can see why this makes such a great gift is because it's like already packaged essentially. Each candle comes in the glass vessel with the lid. There's like a little lid, a wooden lid that comes off, and the Otherland label, and each collection has its own aesthetic. It's very cute. So rattan is in their permanent collection. I love it. It has, it's very sandalwood forward, but it has like a creaminess to it. And I think there's a bit of like like bamboo or something in here that lightens up the sandalwood, and these burn really well. I really have my eye on their Christmas or their holiday collection. There's one called Fallen Fir that I really want to try. I love pine forward, like Christmas tree fragrances. So I really want to try that one. But they have a bunch of new scents on there, and yeah, I think they make great gifts or a nice indulgence for yourself too. I'm actually working on a huge edit of all of my favorite fall and winter candles, including more affordable candles, so keep an eye out for that. So that is everything. We have made it through this whole edit mostly unscathed, with one casualty, which is Nest Birchwood Pine, but I think we'll be able to salvage her and bring her back to life. I'm gonna perform some CPR after this. So I hope you enjoyed. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope this is helpful to you. If you do get anything based on my recommendation, I would really love to hear. Those are some of my favorite messages to get. You can always DM me on Instagram. I'm active there like every day. So I will see you in my next video. Check out my last 2 videos if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.